Okay, everyone, thanks for coming out this afternoon. This is our first open lab on Research.gov and SciENcv. NSF has made two recent changes to the way that they accept proposals. So we wanted to highlight this for everyone who hasn't had a chance to use either one of the systems. The first one being Research.gov. So NSF has issued a notice explaining that they're going to be replacing Fastlane, their system, which I believe they've had since the 90s, with Research.gov, which is a system they've been using mainly for award management, but they've slowly been ramping it up to accept proposal submissions. Currently, they're shooting for a 2022 target date where they actually turn off Fastlane and start accepting all proposals through Research.gov. So in this case right now, when do you use Research.gov? You have to check to make sure that the solicitation that you're responding to specifies that Research.gov is an option. You have to be submitting a full proposal. The system's not currently set up to accept LOIs or pre-proposals. And the proposal has to be one of the proposal types on the screen here. There are some that they are not currently accepting. And the system is now able to support single investigator proposals, proposals with subawards, as well as collaborative proposals. Here's a long list of the reasons why proposal preparation is improved in Research.gov. Right now, OSP is not requiring that PIs submit through Research.gov. You have the option of using Fastlane at this point. But we are advising everyone that the changeover is going to be happening, in a relatively short amount of time, according to NSF. And that we've submitted roughly a dozen proposals to Research.gov, and all of the PIs seem to have had very good experiences with it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you on a demo, actually filling out a full proposal. NSF knows that it's very difficult to learn a new system, especially for investigators who are so used to using Fastlane. So then for that reason, they've set up a demo site. It has full functionality. You can do everything in the proposal that you would be able to do in the actual full Research.gov site, except that it doesn't generate any emails to anyone, our sponsored programs office or any co-PIs or any collaborators on the proposal. I don't know if it's still in the chat window. I pasted the link to it. You can.
It's not there, Sam.
It's not there. Okay.
No.
I will get it there. There you go. So basically, I'm just going to run through the proposal creation right now. If you have any questions, you can feel free to put them in the chat, or once my colleague Amanda Lopez is done talking to you about SciENcv, we can have a Q&A session. So the first step here on the demo is to prepare a proposal. Now, for the purposes of the demo site, they have our organization as well as NSF. So this is where you're going to select the funding opportunity. They have a search box where you can search by the announcement number or a keyword. So for the purposes of this demo, I'm just going to select the PAPPG. Now, here is the section where you used to go on the cover sheet and put it in. For proposals that only have a specific directorate and division that are accepting it, this is going to be pre-populated and you won't be able to select it. However, for foundation-wide proposals like the career, you're going to be able to select from the drop downs here. Also, if a proposal is specifies more than one directorate that is funding, you can actually add more than one selection. This is where you will select the proposal type. As you can see, there's some grayed out selections they're not supporting currently. So for this, we're going to select research. And as I said before, they're currently only accepting full proposals, so it defaults to that. On this screen, you can identify whether this is going to be a single proposal with or without subawards, or if this is going to be a collaborative proposal. For this demo, we're going to do a collaborative. It's going to ask your role on the project. So for this one, we're going to act as a lead proposer. So this is great. They actually drop in the collaborative research prefix. So it's one less thing you have to worry about. So this is what the actual proposal looks like in Research.gov. Here's all of the information that we've filled out. It puts the due date up here. So the first thing that we're going to do in the proposal is share proposal with SPO AOR. So this is the screen where you're going to give our office access. So click change proposal access, and you're going to want to give us edit and allow proposal submission. And at this point, an email notification will be sent to all of us saying that you've enabled access for us. Now that we're in actually a section of the proposal, you can see there's a menu always on the left-hand side of the screen with all of the proposal sections. So there's no need to keep leaving and going out to the main menu. So next we're actually going to link the collaborative proposal. So just click the link button. And we've set up a temporary proposal. So Amanda Lopez at the National Science Foundation in the actual Research.gov environment will have received an email letting her know that her proposal has been linked to ours and there's a request to add it. So next we're going to go over the required sections of the proposal, starting with the cover sheet. And no longer asks to fill out the primary place of performance. So here you can select human subjects and just indicate if it's approved, pending, or exempt. Same thing with vertebrate animals. And also if you have any international activities, that it's also noted here. And we get a confirmation message that everything's been saved. So for the rest of the sections, I have some examples. The one thing that our office is particularly excited about is that Research.gov has around 30 more automated compliance checks than Fastlane does. We're expecting that this is gonna catch a lot of errors before they actually get to a pre-award specialist's review. So in the case of the project summary and the project description, I've got a couple examples just to show you how those compliance checks work. So everything is now a PDF upload. It doesn't do conversions from Word documents anymore, and the project summary is no longer text boxes. So you're going to have to make sure that your project summary is one page. So in this case, the system identified that the project summary I uploaded doesn't have the intellectual merit heading, and that my project summary is over one page. So not only is Research.gov identifying this for you, it actually won't allow upload of the file until it's fully compliant with their system. And now we've got a successful confirmation message. For the project description, I'll do the same thing. Now, I purposely made this as bad as possible. All of the margins are not compliant. There's a hyperlink in the project description, which is not allowed per the PPG. And also, it caught the fact that the line spacing isn't compliant with NSF's requirement that there's no more than 6 lines per inch in a document. Currently, when they started Research.gov, it checked for font compliance as well, but they've made the decision to turn the font check off for right now until investigators get really used to the system. They've also said that they're currently evaluating their font policies, but there's no news on that as of yet. Now we have a compliant project description section. So I'm just going to upload a file for the references cited. Okay. And next we'll move on to the budget. So this does not look similar to the old NSF budget at all. Now you can add multiple years at one time. And this new budget system will actually calculate the totals for you. And then once you have a year one done, you can add succeeding years. And just like Fastlane, you can copy from a previous year. So now it's displaying both years of the budget at one time. And they realize that for 5-year projects, there's not a lot of room on the screen for this. So in this particular section, this is really helpful. You have the option to hide the menu on the left-hand side of the screen to give you a little bit more room to work. Okay, successful for the budget. And the facilities. Now, Research.gov actually puts all the senior personnel documents in one section, and I just realized that I forgot to add a co-PI to this. So for this particular example, we're going to be adding Ted Russo. There's Ted. So back to the senior personnel docs. You can see that you can upload the Biosketch, the current and pending, and the collaborators and other affiliations all on this one page for all of the senior personnel identified on the proposal. So for the Biosketch, again, to show you the compliance checks, I have a bad example here. In this case, Research.gov was able to identify that the Biosketch I uploaded is not in one of the two NSF approved formats that they're currently accepting, which is a fillable PDF available on their website, and SciENcv, which Amanda is going to talk to you about in a little bit. So that's all the required docs. And then below here, you'll see the optional docs, like the other personnel biographical information for biosketches for any other people that are contributing significantly to the project that aren't senior personnel, as well as the other supplementary docs section. So right now, it looks like our proposal is filled out, ready to go, ready to contact your pre-award specialist and let them know that they can review it. But in the list of the proposal sections under compliance status, we do have a snag here, which is that there's documents unavailable for check. If you do not know what is missing from that section, we just discovered this the other day. If you go back to the share proposal with SPO and AOR, and scroll down, they actually give you a full list of all of the warnings. So here it's noting that the institution we're collaborating with hasn't linked their proposal yet. Ted, I did not put in any time for him. And we also don't have biosketches for Ted or current pending or collaborators and other affiliations. So that is pretty much Research.gov in a nutshell. I'm going to pass it off to Amanda now to talk to you about SciENcv, and then we'll take questions after.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Amanda Lopez. I'm fairly new to OSP. I'm the junior pre-award specialist. In the chat, I'll go ahead and include I'm sorry, I lost the chat function, the link to SciENcv. So if you just Google SciENcv without the E at the end of science, you'll pop up to this tab. And let me copy and paste. I'm sorry, I stopped share real quick. There we go. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and follow along, you can. And in here, SciENcv started to, can everybody see my screen okay? I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I'm on the right desktop. Okay, so SciENcv just gave out a warning that although this system is available through NCBI, starting June 1st of this year, you'll be able only to access this system through logging in through ERA Commons or National Science Foundation. So when you first begin, you'll go ahead and log in through the third-party sign-in. And using your normal NSF login, it'll redirect you back to SciENcv. So ultimately, it'll drop you back in through this option. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take you first through the account settings. So in here, you'll find your email address that you sign up with. You could also change this to reflect your personal email address if you'd like, or your Montclair email address. It would not matter. And you'll be able to create your username and password for your NCBI account. And this is required once you do sign up. However, it's ultimately redundant when you actually, when June comes and you have to sign in through NSF Research.gov. And then you'll also find linked accounts. So through this system, I was able to link my NSF account and my ERA Commons account. And through SciENcv, you could ultimately upload or create NIH documents, NSF documents, among others. And if you're a busy PI, you might be able to add a delegate. So that means if you have a research assistant or a graduate assistant, you could add them to this list. They'll be able to access your account and change any documents that you have in there, as long as you give them clear instructions on how to do that. And they'll just have to be able to access that through the email that is generated through the system. So now if you go to my NCBI, so first off, what you want to do is create your bibliography. This will be the list of citations, any publications that you have. You could link it through ERA Commons, any publications you have through NSF. Also, ORCID is available through the system as well. So if I go in here, I searched my name from PubMed. Although these are not my articles, I just came in and added them as examples. So you click it, add to my bibliography, and the citation has successfully been added. So now what you would want to do is, it's been glitchy. So what you want to do is check off these citations, because if they are not checked off, you won't be able to add them to your biographical sketch where you need it to include your products. So now I'm going to go back to NCBI. And here's the SciENcv section. So you're going to go into Manage SciENcv. I've already created some examples of a biosketch in current and pending, but initially, if you currently do not have an account, you want to create a new document. And now here, you will enter your specific document. So I'll do Lopez partial biosketch and today's date. Now, these are the available formats that you can use in SciENcv. So since we're talking about NSF, I will go ahead and do the NSF Biosketch. And I'm initially going to start with a blank document. So it has no information, nothing at all. And now sharing, you could either keep this private to yourself or you can make it public. Now I'm going to create it as a public document. And now say you're working collaboratively or you are a sub-award on a proposal. If you want to give the PI from the different institution access to your biosketch, you could go ahead and copy this link and go ahead and send it to the PI, now they will have access to your Biosketch. So again, you just add your name. These are optional information. I will go ahead and add my NSF ID. So now this information will pop up on my Biosketch with my NSF ID number listed here. So professional preparation. So again, just add your degree as if you were going to do this through the fillable PDF. So the school, I'm going to put Montclair State University. City is Montclair, NJ, USA. And say it was in biology. So I'm going to save that. And to add another entry, you just go ahead and add another, or you could click right here and say save and add another entry. Montclair State University, Montclair, New Jersey, USA. I'm going to go ahead and say I was a postdoc fellow from 05-2016 to 04-2018. Okay, so there you'll list your professional preparation, bachelor's, master's, PhD, postdoc training, anything like that. Appointments. So here it says to list in reverse chronological order all of your appointments you've had throughout your lifetime. What I've noticed is that although, or actually let's do it this, although you're supposed to list in reverse chronological order, SciENcv will actually order it for you in the dates that you put. So you could go ahead and miss something, add it in extra, it will order it for you automatically. Although this is a bit time consuming, it will actually save you a lot of time in the long run. So then from proposal to proposal, you won't be having to create a new one every single time. And 2020 to 2021. Work specialist. Actually, we'll leave that blank and use this as the current employment. Okay, so here's where your bibliography section comes into play. So when you're uploading products, your citations will automatically appear in this list of what you've saved to your bibliography. You could also add citations and search from PubMed if you notice that your publications are not listed in here of the ones that you want to include. You could also connect to your ORCID account from here. So if I open the link in the new tab, oh, I'm sorry. It's going to bring you to the ORCID sign-in page. I do not have an ORCID account, so I cannot show you that, but that's how you would link your ORCID account to your SciENcv. So if I include these two, and let me select the citations. So these two citations are highlighted. That means I cannot include them in my other significant products. So now I only have the option to select these three citations. It's okay, it'll pop up. Synergistic activities. So these are the 5 activities that you're able to include in your Biosketch. For the sake of time, I'm just going to list one. Undergraduate students. And press save. So now that all of the sections are filled out, Oh, I also must point out, SciENcv does save in real time. So once you save your profile name for your document, you could leave this any section blank and it will automatically be saved to your profile. But now that it's all completed, I will go ahead and press PDF. And now you will go ahead and have your Biosketch completely filled out with pagination on the bottom of the page. And it adheres to PAPPG guidelines completely. So now, if we go back to SciENcv, and say you have a Biosketch that has already been completed, but you need to make some edits, you will go ahead and create a new document. We do part NSF bio and today's date. Now, I could pull the information from an existing document that's already included in my SciENcv, and you will be able to have the list right here. So the one that we had just completed is listed here, and my full bio that's completed is also here. And then this will bring everything together. So this is completely filled out. And if I want to make any edits, I can. I could link to ERA Commons. I could link to ORCID. I can change my Bachelor of Science degree if I would like. Maybe I put in the wrong month or the wrong year. So now if we go back, I just want to show you what a full Biosketch looks like. So with all of the professional prep filled out, appointments filled out, citations filled out, this is what should be submitted in each proposal. And of course, the pagination is 2 of 2 because you're allowed only 2 pages per Biosketch. And now let's go to a current and pending example. So again, same process, NSF CP for 22-21. Select current and pending. Start with a blank document and let's make this public. If you'd like to make it a private document again, you could just simply click stop sharing and this will be private to you only. Now, in current and pending, any support is listed under here. So you click current, pending, a plan submission or transfer of support, and you just go ahead and simply show example 1 and simply fill out the sections. Source of support would be NSF. Primary place of performance is MSU. Say it's 08-2021 through 07-2024 for $500,000. And here is where you will list your effort from each year onto your current and pending document. So since our project begins 8/21 and ends, the first year ends 07/22, we'll go ahead and list 2022 on here and have a course buyout. 2023, maybe 2 summer months, and 2024 and another course buyout. And again, you could keep adding entries as you'd like, and they will be populated in this section. So if we go ahead and download the PDF, your current pending will look something like this. Now, the best thing about current and pending documents through SciENcv is that you'll be able to keep up with them in real time. So if you have a proposal that was pending but ultimately was rejected, you could simply go in to your SciENcv current and pending document and say, this pending NEH proposal was rejected. I could simply go ahead and delete it. If this NSF proposal that was pending was approved or awarded, I'm sorry, if it was awarded, I could go ahead and click it as current. If I was awarded a different amount totally, I could say I was awarded 400,000, save. Now this current and pending will be up to date and a lot more simply put together than a fillable PDF, which you have to do for every proposal. And again, just simply click download PDF and you will have it up and ready. And I know currently the NSF fillable PDFs for current and pending are 15 pages no matter what. So even if you have a current and pending document that only takes up 2 pages, the fillable PDF, if it's included in the proposal, will be 15 pages automatically, whereas this one is only 3 pages. So reviewers do not have to go and flip through pages over and over from proposal to proposal, which is why we ultimately suggest using SciENcv is just easier and a lot easier to maintain if you're going to be submitting NSF proposals. So I think that's it right now for SciENcv. If anybody has any questions, I'd be able to go through my account and show you anything if you'd like. Or if you have questions for Sam for Research.gov, we could also explore Research.gov as well.
Hey, Dr. Workman, what's your question?
Hi. So I guess the question is, so I'm trying to play along here as you're doing it in real time.
Yes.
And so I guess my first question is about the NCBI. So if I'm understanding you right, the SciENcv is situated within NCBI. I didn't have an NCBI account, but I created one, even though that's not in sort of the field. You know, it's asking for PubMed references. I don't have any of those.
Okay.
But that's the only place you can import them from, other than doing it manually. It looks. I mean, I have the ORCID ID part, but like I'm just wondering, like, should I be on like an NSF version of this instead of the NCBI, or is it all just within that is SciENcv part of NCBI, and it just makes sense to use that tool?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I should have been more clear. SciENcv is housed within NCBI. So what you can do is link your NSF account to it, but you can also, if I could just share my screen one more time. If I go back to my bibliography, manage, you could add citations manually or from a file or from PubMed, but since you said you had no PubMed, you could also do it manually. And these are the options that you're able to use. So you would just do a journal article that does not appear and fill out the sections, and that will go ahead and save to your bibliography. From there, you could add that into your Biosketch.
Yeah, it looks like the quickest way is to go into like Google Scholar, where it's already saved as an RIS format, download the RIS from there, and then upload it here.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Does anyone else have any other questions? Okay, feel free to contact us with any questions about either one of the systems. We will definitely keep the campus apprised of any changes if NSF should decide to change the date that they're going to be turning Fastlane off. We'll definitely get that information out. We also have an NSF page on our website where we'll be putting training materials in case you have any questions.